Hello, this is Jim Szymanski, Communications Director for the Washington Retail Association, and our guest today is Senator Sam Hunt, Democrat Senator Sam Hunt, from the 22nd District that surrounds the capital of Washington State and takes in the cities of Olympia, Lacey, and Tumwater. Senator, thanks for being here. Appreciate
Thank you.
We're here today to talk about Senate Bill 5397. We'll get to the details of that a little bit later, but I just wanted to see if you could give us a quick summary of your career in the legislature, how long it's been, and where you've served.
Okay. I have been in the I actually started in the legislature as a staffer way back in 1980 and worked for the legislature and then several state agencies. I ran for the legislature in 2000 in the House and was elected. So I've been in the House from 2001 to last year when I was elected to the Senate. So I'm in my second year in the Senate. So that totals up to about 18 years.
And you're now chairing the State Government Tribal Relations and Elections Committee?
That's correct, yeah.
Well, we're here specifically to talk about a bill that's pretty close to the hearts of the retailers of the state, Senate Bill 5397. In effect, it would, and I'll get you, to talk about the details of this, but it would effectively document the presence of paid petition signature gatherers in the state, and people might wonder why that bill is necessary. Could you talk a little bit about how it came to being?
Sure. First of all, it adds some accountability to the whole process and some transparency. But paid signature gatherers are much different many times from the volunteers because the paid signature gatherers come from out of state. We don't know who they are. We don't know what their background is. And they are there not to push a citizen issue or citizen initiative. They're there to make money. And you oftentimes see a signature gatherer with 4 or 5 petitions all on clipboards trying to get as many signatures because they get paid by the signature. So sometimes they become very insistent with people trying to go into the grocery store or the mall or whatever, and it makes the customers uncomfortable and sometimes drives them away from that business.
Right now, this bill, you could argue, pits the free speech rights, I suppose, of the petition gatherers with the property rights of the retailers. When you first heard about this bill, and you're a co-sponsor on it, did you feel that legislation might be a way to address the problem you just outlined?
You know, we've tackled this issue probably for the last 5 or 6 years. There's been various versions of this bill, and I think we've really perfected it. Senator Warnick from Moses Lake has done a good job of, putting the accountability in there, putting the, I think, right steps to protect the rights of the signature gatherer, of the sponsor of the initiative, as well as the business people.
Could you just break down in a little bit of detail, Senator, exactly what the bill provides for?
Well, yeah, the opponents call this a government registration bill. It is far from it. If you're a paid signature gatherer, you have to provide information to your employer, not an unusual step. Your name, your address, your phone number. You have to enter into a background check that the initiative sponsor would have to pay for, so that when you go to that store and there's a signature gatherer out there, that somebody has done a check on that person, and if necessary, the information, which is only disclosable to the Public Disclosure Commission or to law enforcement, can go back and see who this person was in front of Joe's supermarket who was being obnoxious and blocking the entrance. If there's nothing that happens, that information doesn't need to get disclosed, just like any other employer should have the information about his or her employees.
Now, to push the envelope a little bit, what we've heard, at least, of secondhand information, maybe documentable for all I know, some of these petition gatherers actually have done a little more than make people uncomfortable. They've actually been seen or guilty of shoplifting, for example, and other crimes that you wouldn't expect to be connected with the process of.
It obviously puts the business owner in an uncomfortable position, having to oftentimes follow that signature gatherer into the store and see whether or not that's going to happen. But I don't know if the criminal element is as much as the personal interaction element of making sure that the person is safe and that the customer is safe when he or she is confronted by that signature gatherer.
I think if memory serves, though, what I was getting at is I think the bill provides for screening of some sort to make sure, I think you may have referred to this, to make sure that people don't bring a criminal record to the job.
That's right. There's a background check involved.
Now, tell us about the status of this bill. It's been introduced. Where does it sit right now? And I think what people really want to know, and it may not be possible to even answer this question, what's the prognosis for it? It's been around for a while. Yeah. Will we see a different outcome this year?
Well, this is one thing that's really different about this initiative measure or this bill is that it comes from the business community. It comes from the grocers, from the drugstore owners, from the various people who have had visible, actual troubles with signature gatherers. And it's them who are bringing this forward and saying, we don't mind having signature gatherers in front of our store. We support First Amendment rights, but we also support the rights of our customers to be safe. And so I think that's really the big difference here is it's the business owners trying to protect their property. At the same time, not saying you can't gather signatures,
Right.
saying we'll let you stand in front of our store or our business or be at the mall, but we want to make sure that our customers are safe and that there's no risk.
Well, the wrap-up question is the loaded question, and I guess would be, what do you think we'll see a different outcome this year?
Well, I hope so. We voted the bill out of the state government tribal relations and elections. That's a mouthful. That's the longest name of any committee in the legislature. We voted it out of committee. It's in Senate rules, and hopefully we will get it to the floor of the Senate and vote it and send it to the House.
Well, thanks for explaining this to us. I appreciate it very much, Senator, for being with us today. And I'd like to invite you to go to our website to keep track of not only this bill, but others during this session at retailassociation.org. Thanks for watching.